live?
Live.
We're live. That was like, are we? Aren't we, guys? We are live! And today is a pretty epic day. You are sharing the most incredible news with me. Guys, we hit 400K. What the? I know! What perfect timing. Thank you, Teddy. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed, who've been telling your friends, like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. I literally can't believe it. Anyway, today's live, we're going to be talking about how I feel about it afterwards, because that's all about mindset. But today's live is followed by a Q&A, which is all about mindset. We're going to be discussing anxiety, motivation to work out, feeling guilty about taking rest days. All of that is going to be covered, and I think it's something that we all need right now, being in lockdown, being in quarantine. Like, we need this, and it is with the most incredible specialist. Her name is Katie Warren. Now, she's worked with Olympic athletes, rugby players for England. Like, she is phenomenal sports psychologist. But let's get stuck in. Grab some weights if you've got them. I've got 2 kg. Today's is slightly, well, not slightly, quite different to last Wednesday's, just because I know you want to bring a burn, because this is our last live of the week. So we've got 4 circuits. We do have a hit formation, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, and each one's for a different body part. So we're starting off with arms, shoulders, back, then we're going to be going into lower body, core, then full body. All right. Are you ready? Shout yes if you're ready. As per, guys, we're going to be having fun while we do this, okay? So core really tight, pulling that waist in, no overarching, okay? Rib cage down. We're starting off with our weights and we're punching up, finding that beat, that Italian beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, good one. Oh yeah. I feel so bright in this outfit. Good work, guys. Amazing. Now forward. We're gonna burn the shoulders. We're gonna kill the arms. We got this. We're gonna burn flat. Oh yeah. Core tight. 4, 3, 2. Back up. Let's go. 1, 2. 1, 2. Amazing, guys. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Do I have any Italians joining me today? If I do, I'm hoping you understand what this is saying. I just love the beat. Have no idea what they're saying, but the girls sound happy. So we're gonna pump and lower into a shoulder press. Find that beat again. 4, 3, 2, let's go. Press, lower. Good work. And beginners, no weight, okay? It still hurts. Rib cage down, core tight. Feel that beat. Good work, guys. 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, pump, 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 pump. Good work. Hi, baby. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Enjoy that burn, right? So we're gonna come up now, guys. 45-degree angle. Pump and lower, okay? 45 degrees. Set those shoulder blades together. Keep the core tight. 3 seconds. 2 and 1. Let's go. Up, up, slowly lower. Good work. Hi, Bubba. Good. Beginners, no weight. Up, up, lower. Up, up, lower. Good. Hold up. Now pump, 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 pump with those weights if you can, guys. Pump, 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 pump. Keep going. Come on. 15 seconds. Feel that burn. Oh yeah. Woo. 3. I'm done. Feeling it? I definitely am, guys. We're now going to go with a front raise, okay? As we go with a front raise, we're going to twist, twist, and lower down. Go with one weight if you want. He keeps looking at me. 3, 4, lower.
I'm a little bit naughty. I'm a little bit too consumed. But
Good. Try not to go all the way down. Good. stay up. Twist, 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 twist. Good, guys, 15 seconds, don't give up. Feel that burn.
He comes around, better not disturb them.
10 seconds. Woo!
Yeah, come a little bit closer.
5 seconds.
To all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right.
Well done, guys. We're going into back now, okay? So we've done this one before. You can come into standing if you want. You're going to squeeze, tricep kickback, and lower, okay? Really good for your back. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You get mad every time you lose. You can't take me with you. I'm scared you're gonna refuse. Come a little bit closer. Yeah, I can really start over.
How we doing for likes, Alex? Likes versus people doing it.
1,000 people doing the workout.
How many likes?
60 likes.
Woo! Some of us are going to be hitting that like button. Pretty pleased. It really, really goes a long way, guys. Now hold. Pump. 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 Pump.
Put your finger right in his face and tell that man bye-bye. I'm too fly.
Okay, 2 or 1 weight, I don't mind. You're going to come up into a tricep and then pump and lower, okay? So it's lift, pump, lower. 1, both weights if you want. So lift, pump, lower. Lift, pump, lower.
Your friend said that you left me.
Good. Try and bring those elbows forward.
That's what you believe. All my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right. Put your finger right in his face and tell them
I love this song. Good work. In 4, in 3, in 2. Hold at the top and pump, pump, pump. Good. Elbows in, guys. 3, 2, 1. And done. We're sticking with triceps, okay? So we're coming into a tricep lower, taking the elbows in, close to the side of the body. Super important. You can come into a full tricep lower or on the knees. Keep the elbows in tight. Pull and push up.
Thought you'd never leave me. Guess I was
Go at your own pace, guys.
forever to be your plus one.
Beginners, lower. Have a moment. Then push back up.
Left me at the party.
Lower. Have a moment. Core tight. And push back up.
You won't heal no wounds. Now I'm broken hearted.
Good work. Slow and controlled. internal rotation. If you have rotator cuff problems, please, please, please don't do this part, okay? Otherwise, just press. Okay, find the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good work. Beginners, no weight, okay? So press, rotate. Rib cage down. Should be feeling that burn. Come on, keep pushing. 4, 3, 2. Okay, now we're gonna press up. Let's go. Up, up, up. Good work. Come on, really press. All the way. 7, 6, 5, 2, 1 more.
I got a confession.
Ooh, I like the sound of this one.
Losing no momentum.
Don't know this one. It's a new one. DJ Alex in the house. Guys, smashed it. First circuit done. It always makes me very hot in these long sleeves. How are you feeling? Out of 10, quickly let me know. That's kind of, I always say the first circuit is like the introduction. It's like your warm up. Next circuit is going to be lower body. We're going all in. So I know your butt and your legs are quite sore from yesterday, but we're going literally foot up to lower back. No standing, it's all down on the mat, and it's all gonna really hurt. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna really hurt, but in a really great way. Okay, you're grabbing a hold of 1 or 2 weights. It's entirely up to you. Hopefully some of your numbers are coming through. Looking at Alex in hope that they are coming through. Okay, knees quite wide. I want you to drop the butt back. As you come up, squeeze the butt. To make it harder, pop a band around your knees. Okay, let's go. Lift. Really squeeze the butt. Squeeze. We got numbers? Good.
Angelina Schneider's a 4.
Good.
Marie Hobson's a 7. Virag's a 5. Doodle's a 4.
My girls are getting strong, hey? Really squeeze that butt, guys. Really squeeze. 6 seconds left. Good work. Now, in between, when you have your 15 seconds rest, if you want to, you can carry on the previous exercise. For those of you who are super advanced. Okay, weights, all weight into your chest. Come up and back down. Let's go. Staying really low. I have to stay low to make sure I stay in frame. My head can't go out of frame. And that, stay low. Good work. Come on, keep it fast if you can. Come on, guys. Both weights if you can. No weights if you don't want. It's up to you, guys. Now hold. Pump. 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 Really low. 3, 2, 1. And we're down. Okay, we're going down into a really low squat. We're gonna pump the leg out to the side. So we're here, here. Now what I want you to concentrate on is this knee tracking over the middle toe. Stay low. 1, 2. Band if you want, guys. The band makes it harder. Weights if you want. Stay low. Stay low. Yes, guys. Push, 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 push. Now, if you want to make it harder, you can go with arms as well, okay? Forward.
I know the story of your life.
Good. Hold on to those weights. And push, push. Yes, guys. Lower back. As we punch across, we're taking the foot out to the side, like you're a boxer. 4, 3, 2, let's go. Good, butt low. if you can, on your thighs. They're gonna rest there. Takes a little bit of balance. We're going in 5 seconds. Okay, here we go. Balance them there. Good work. And beginners, no weight. Just drop them down. Bring the arms up if you can. If you don't have a wall, hold a squat. Okay? Feel that burn. Beginners, come up to a weight. Give it a tap. Then go straight back in. 12. Lower. Lower. 5. 4. Lower. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we are sticking with the thighs, and then we move on to booty. 1 or 2 weights, guys, it's up to you. We're going with what we did in the finisher yesterday, which is here. I want you to try and hold the weights as well. So we go back and come forward.
Don't suppress your fire, baby, let it burn. Be who you are.
Guys, you're really trying to come low. I'll show you from the side. Hi, baby. So you're coming low. Okay?
You gotta be true.
Lock those shoulder blades. Try and keep it a straight line. Do not overarch that back. Squeeze the butt. Come on. Hold. 10, 9. Yes, Alex. 8, 7, 6. Can you go lower? Can you go lower? 3, 2, 1. Woo! It hurts, right? Okay, we are going into fire hydrants. Guys, please, if you have it, pop the band on. I'm demonstrating without because quite a few of you don't have it, okay? But pop the band on if you've got it. Up, pump, lower. Let's go.
Oh, you gotta learn. Don't suppress your fire, baby.
Come on, let's burn that up.
Nobody can take that away from you. Oh, straight from my heart.
4,
No playing
3,
games. You gotta be true.
4, 3, 2, pump, 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 pump. Come on, really nice and high, guys. 15 seconds, push it. All the way to the end. Come on. 12, 10. Come on. Even higher, pump, double the pace.
Sometimes it's gonna hurt, baby. Just let your tears fall down. No need
Sorry, I
to
sometimes go longer, but I like to end the beat. I'm a music girl. I really like to get to the end of the beat. Okay, we're down in 3 seconds. Up, pump, lower. Let's go. Up, pump, lower. Good work. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold up. Let's go. Up, up, up. Yes. Enjoy that burn. I can see Alex's faces. You're pulling. Now, double the pace. Up, 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 up. Come on. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the butt back. Well done, guys. Okay, we're finishing up with some bridges. I want you to quickly lie onto your back. Okay, band on, guys. Super important if you've got it. Dig the heels in. Lift up, lower. Up, up, lower. Good. The key here is to squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, lower.
I remember when we were staring photos. Don't forget the way
Rib cage down, guys.
and I keep you in my heart. And my heart is where you are. I still think of you. I want you coming.
Now hold at the top. Right foot. Lift. Lower. Left foot.
Take it in my heart.
Right. Lift. Lower. Left. Now go. high. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really tuck that tailbone under and squeeze the butt. 4, 3, 2, double the pace. Let's go. Again, I actually don't think that, well, it was a burn, right? Is Teddy stealing the show? Can you even see me? Probably not. Guys, we're going on to circuit number 3 now. He is so funny, I swear. Okay, circuit 3 is mainly for abs. I say mainly, it is completely abs, but we've got some arms in there as well. So I do need you to grab your weights. I would like to know out of 10 how you found that, particularly because we did legs, lower body yesterday, so there should still be a bit of a burn going on. Let me know. Things up from here, guys, so I hope you're ready. Okay, whoops, 15-second countdown. Get ready to burn. Oh yeah. Okay, going in 10 seconds, guys. Let me know when some numbers come through to it.
We got Jordan Nas as 6, Taika Cass as a 5.
Legs up.
Everyone's just saying Teddy right now.
Straight in.
All the doors we open, and all the doors we close. Was this Captain Gan's story that we never told? So I'm saying for
Look how specific you guys are.
you said just keep rolling on.
It's warming the abs up here, guys.
To break, I always
Good
be
back.
your
10
captain.
seconds.
For our fakeness we have grown. You said just keep rolling on. If you're
Good
about
breath.
to break,
Okay, grabbing a hold of your weight. We have some speed punches, okay? Beginners, just go without the weights, coming across the body, punching. Keeping that core engaged by going as low as you can without dropping. Good breath. Across the body, then we're gonna get the weights, the obliques. Guys, this circuit is gonna majorly up, okay? You're gonna hate me by the end of it. Good. 1, 2, 1, 2, yes guys. Come on. Over halfway. Really rotate that body to hit the obliques. 4, 3, half the pace. Punch.
told me I'm your
In.
angel.
Rotate.
Told you you're my
In.
bone. Through the wind and fire, we tried. Hold on. All the doors we open, and all the
Good work.
doors we
Hold,
close.
hold, hold, hold. We have hundreds here. Okay, we're here. All beginners, we're here. If the groin's hurting, open the legs apart. That's how you're going to prevent it hurting. 3, 2, advanced intermediate. Let's go. In, 2, 3, 4, breath out. Beginners, you're here.
For our fakeness, we
Good work.
have
Pull
grown.
that core in really tight, guys.
Just keep
As low as you can. Come on.
if you're about
Feel that burn.
to break. I always be
Feel that
your
burn.
captain.
Over halfway. Good. Open up if you need to, okay? Okay, advance. Straight from the left. Up to you guys. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and hold. 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 4 more counts. 4, 3, 2. I think this is it. Woo. Rolling back, hovering the right leg. Ooh. Okay, roll back and hover. Hold. 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 Grab the weights if you want to.
By the way you stare, the way you roll upon me, yeah, yeah.
4,
Man, I felt your energy.
3,
Wasn't used to
2,
being loved and treated
4, 3,
differently,
crunch in,
yeah.
straighten. 1, 2,
No stop crying. the pace up, we should take it slow. Baby, keep your focus, don't you make me change my mind. If you love me, baby, don't you
Lift the arm.
Baby, don't you.
Beginners, lower if you want to. Get ready for the other side. In 4, in 3, in 2. Hobble the other leg. Going in 4, 3, 2. Let's go. In.
Put me on a trip. Always up and down and back and forth in there.
Beginners, I forgot to tell you, sorry. Hands down. With all of these, your hands can go down, okay?
I'm stuck here feeling.
Now really push with the heel. In, stride. In, stride.
And now we're
Good, really pull those stomach muscles in tight.
Let's go where we were when no one gave her.
4, 3, 2. Let's go. Triple pace. Wait if you can. Come on. Guys, we're nearly there. 5 seconds.
Baby, keep your focus, don't you make me change my mind.
That sequence is killer, right? I really think that's killer. Okay, both weights. I want the legs wide. We're coming with a full sit-up, dropping the weights down and controlling it. Let's go. Beginners, I'm going to show you now. Beginners.
You love me just like you say you do. Don't kill the goodbye. If you kill, you're gonna kill us too. Baby, keep it right there. Don't you stress the flow. You're trying to pick the pace.
Come on, you got this.
You should take it slow.
Control that movement down.
Baby, keep your focus. Don't you make me change my mind. If you love me, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you. Baby, don't you. Baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you.
Good work, guys. I want you to take one weight out of the way, okay? And drop the left arm out to the side. The left leg is up. The right arm is coming here, okay? This leg here, you're gonna literally drive away and bring it back in. Now beginners, simply drop your left leg. So you're here, okay? Find that beat.
I can tell you want me. Don't make a move. That will always scare me. This love is just for you. Yeah,
Really rotate that body.
why can't I receive? I'm too messed up to believe that love is made for two. That love is good to you. For me, it's not true. I'm too messed
Now
up to
hold it
believe
straight. Come up, let's go. Lift.
that you
Lower.
won't leave a scar.
Breathe, guys, this hurts. This really hurts. 4, 3, 2, hold, 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 line and across, hold, 4, 3, 2, and lower, get ready, dropping that arm to the side, okay, beginners, the leg is down, everyone else is up, flex that foot, 4, 3, 2, let's go, push,
If I'm being
Right.
honest, I don't wanna feel
keep the lower back flat,
but I feel it's real.
beginners, here,
I got many reasons why I can't receive. I'm too messed up to believe
really crunch across the body, guys,
that love is good to you. For me, it's
come on,
not
you're nearly there,
too messed up to
now hold it
believe
straight,
that
lift
you
the lower,
could heal my heart.
lift,
That you
lower.
won't leave a scar. For me, it's always hard.
come on guys, you got this,
Still,
so nearly there, now hold, 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 4, 3, 2, and up into sitting. Wow, that core should be on fire. Both weights. We're starting off with a nice Russian twist. Beginners' legs are down, everyone else they're up. 1, center, 2, center. Beginners, you're here. Guys, we're nearly there. I really want this to burn, okay? Okay, beginners, keep the legs down, front one in, everyone else. Here, here. Now if you can, add a press, 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 press. Beginners, you do this, okay? You lift, lift. Come on guys, you got got this. Keep pushing. Well done. Okay, up into a plank. This is when you're really not gonna like me, okay? We're going with a jump or a step jack into a military. So we're going down onto our forearms, then we're jumping the feet for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beginners, step the feet or come down on the knees, okay?
Don't wanna keep them to myself. I'm on the verge of an explosion. Don't care about anybody else.
15 seconds, guys.
Hold back all the things I feel. If I hold back, maybe they're not real. What if I don't and just let you deal? Would you go? Let me know.
Good work. That's another circuit complete. How are we feeling? Okay, let me know, guys. This is our last circuit, and I have to tell you now, this is the worst by far. We're pretty much fat burning, okay? So it's gonna hurt, but you so know it's worth it, and it's only 10 minutes. Quick sip of water. Let me know, out of 10, how you guys are feeling. So, fat burn, but, sorry, I'm just stretching out my cramp. You have the option of no jumping. I'll show all of them without jumping if you need to do low impact. Still high intensity though. How are we feeling? Some numbers coming through?
Yeah, Jordan has a 7 now, Cheese Noodles falls an 8, Natasha comes
Amazing.
6.
Kills the
Christina
core,
K's an
right?
8.
You guys are getting
Yeah,
hardcore.
6 to 8 now.
Nice. So last circuit, sweaty. Very, very, very sweaty. The worst. But we always save the best for last, and don't forget we have the Q&A at the end. Okay, first exercise is going to be a jump in out squat. Really simple, guys. Now, the key is to try and stay low throughout this, okay? So you want to try and stay low. If you have to, this is your intermediate. I know I'm coming out of frame. Advanced is here, okay? And if you don't want to jump, you can go here. Let's go. So beginners, you're here. Good, we're getting that heart rate up. Advanced, jump it. 1, 2, 1, 2.
What if I just lose my mind? Make a scene and run.
Good, we want that butt on fire.
Show you what I feel inside.
Good work, guys. Come on, feel that burn. 15 seconds.
What if I just lose my mind? Even till
Good, 10 seconds.
I don't really care.
Nearly there. 5.
Lose my mind.
And done. Good work. Okay, next up is going to be a squat pulsation, but on our toes, like we did yesterday, okay? So coming nice and low, here we pulsate. If you need to at any point, come up, okay? 1, 2, 1. It's really slow. That beat is slow for a reason. I want it to burn. 1. Then we're getting a faster song on, then we go in. 1, 2. If you need to, readjust, come back. Good work. You can high on those toes. 1, 2, 1, 2. If you need to, have a break. Then 4, 3, finish it off. Come on, guys, you've only got 10 seconds left. Feel that burn. Enjoy that burn. 5, 4. Good work. Down into a plank, guys, okay? We are now going with a mountain climber into a jump jack. We do 4 and 4, but it's 4 mountain climbers each side. Step them if you want, otherwise hand them. 4, 3, 2, let's go. 4, 3, 2, now jump, let's go. And This hurts. And my graze has just gone. Now I'm gonna get it back again. Beginners, if you want to, on the knees. Beginners, you're here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, guys. I do not care what level you're at. All I care is that you carry on, okay? Down onto those forearms and back up. Beginners, if you're here, that's fine, but don't give up. You've got this, okay?
Your mind speaks my language, you read it like a book. This life is forever and so is me.
10 seconds! Come on, guys! 3, 2, 1 more! Good work! Guys, I'm pausing the timer. That could only mean one thing. You have burpees, okay? Burpees as many as you can in 45 seconds. I did tell you that this was fat burn. So I really want you to push. Just in case you haven't done my workouts before, I want you to count how many burpees you can do. All the way down, jump in, jump up. Beginners, step the legs and stand. Going in 9, 8, 7. Guys, this is you against you. Okay, count your reps. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Count your reps, guys. Come on, count your reps. Come on! As many as you can, guys. Push, push. You're a third of the way. Come on. You've got this.
Something about the way you dress.
Okay, squad, you are halfway. Double it. Double it. Come on. Teddy's cheering you on.
Go we say
Come on, guys, coming into the home stretch. Hi, Teddy. 10.
for the last time I can call you mine.
4, 3, 2, and done. Guys, quickly let me know how many burpees you got, okay? Straight onto your back. We're going with bicycles back into the abs. Then we are sprinting them. So it starts off controlled. 3, 2, let's go. 1, 2, 1. Beginners, you're here. It's lift. Lift. Hi, Teddy. 4, 3, 2, sprint! Come on, guys. We're gonna wind it up again in 5 seconds. You go as fast as you can. 3, 2, finish it off. Woo! Come on. Push, 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 push. Woo! You feel it?
Hunnell did 19.
Whew.
Effort did 14.
Killer, guys, killer. Hands in a diamond shape.
19.
Reverse crunch into an open close. Then we change it up. Reverse crunch, open close.
We should still have fun. Go we say we do. 'Cause I just wanna get down with you. For the last time I can call you mine. Once more than us with
Now hold them up. Lift lower. Lift lower. Lift lower. Good work. 15 seconds. Beginners, work up here. Okay, work high. Or bend your knees. Really there. Lift lower. Lift lower. Good work, guys. Coming onto all fours. This one requires a little bit of coordination. Okay, coming into bear position. Start off by taking the leg through. If you can, extend it. Let's go. Beginners, I'll show you another level now. Okay, keep going, guys. Beginners, you're here and you come across. Come down for a break. If you need it, readjust. Then go back in. Come on, guys. It really doesn't matter what level you're at. Just keep pushing. Okay, 20 seconds. If okay? We are gonna be making it harder. We're gonna go with the military again, and we're gonna seesaw in between. Baby, do you mind if I have a nap? Do you mind? Okay, seesaw, find that beat. 4, 3, 2, let's go. Seesaw, up, down. Seesaw. Now, I think my sister's doing this workout today, and she's gonna laugh because this is gonna take you back, Dom, about 20 years. Over 20 years. Back to our dance teacher. This is a nice little, why did I use the word nice? Finisher for your core. And I'm gonna show you now, because straight after this, we're going into a Q&A. That went down the wrong hole. Alex is laughing at me. Okay, no timer needed. All you need is music and the count of 8, okay? Because all music is to the count of 8. It's up to you. You can pop your hands in a diamond shape if you want underneath the small of your back. Otherwise, I want the arms down by the side of the body and your legs up to 90. I always do this to protect my back, okay? From there, this is number 0. This is number 8, just short of the floor. In between 7, 6, 5, halfway 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I'm gonna be counting you down. Yeah, I like this song. Let's do that one. Okay, Teddy, excuse me. Legs up, going in 4, in 3, in 2, it's important to breathe. Go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, back up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, back down. 1, 2, keep that lower back flat. Keep the core engaged. 5, 6, 7, and 8, back up. 8, 7, rib cage down. 5, no overarms, halfway 4, 3, 2, this is where it gets interesting. Down. 1, 2, 3, and hold. 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 is
baile nos veíamos debajo de las sábanas.
three,
Nos
hold, two,
encontraríamos
continue,
solo al ritmo de
five,
la
hold, four,
vamos por una
hold,
ruta más.
hold,
Tu cuerpo se
hold,
come una
hold,
lucera.
heavy, continue, 3, 2, 1, and we're done. Hi, baby. Guys, I have to do that. That was part of our dancing, like we used to call it mat work in between practicing our choreographies. Called choreographies, it was Irish dancing. From about age 6, probably. Okay, I get it. How much does that burn, by the way? So we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be doing more of those dancing kind of tutorials, I guess, because they are so good for your core. How did you find it in that second round of burpees? How many reps did you do? Quickly let me know. We now have a Q&A, okay? So the Q&A, as I said before, is with Katie Warriner, who is a sports... Yeah, it's exciting. Hey, sit. Excuse me. Sit. Stay. Oh, thank you. She is a sports psychologist and she is unbelievable. She's worked with Olympic champions, with the England rugby team. Honestly, watching through some of her videos, which are going to be screened, I'm learning so much. I haven't watched them all yet, so I'm going to be giving my opinion, my experience. But honestly, Katie is the professional. She's unbelievable. And the reason why we decided to bring Katie on board, thanks to Optimum Nutrition, was because we're all going through a really challenging time right now. It's affecting us all in different ways, but we do kind of have the common, I guess, troubles that are bringing us together, and that's what I love about this community. It is live, we're interactive, we're uplifting each other. I know a lot of people are suffering with anxiety, with a lack of motivation, and just kind of mindset in general. So really interesting. The first part that Katie's going to talk about actually is the brain. And I don't want to give too much away, but she's just talking about kind of the function of the brain and how we can maybe, I don't want to give too much, but we always use the word motivation and energy and all of that, but we're going to talk a little bit about the function of the brain, then we're going to go into mindset from there, and I'm hoping all of us are going to learn a lot. So, did we get any numbers for burpees?
We got Negri 16, Arvin 15, Nadine 17, Maya 15,
Guys,
Lydia 12.
champions. Champions. And for those of you who are wondering about future workouts, we are coming back on Monday again for another workout, okay? For another full body fat burn. Right, over to Katie. I'm so excited for this.
Hey guys, it's great to be with you tonight. Thanks for having me on, and thanks for sending in all the questions, because you gave us a lot to think about. Lily and I really enjoyed going through them, and hopefully we're going to pick out as many as we can to together kind of make sense of this crazy time that we're experiencing and how our brains are behaving. But before we get into any of the specific questions, I want to bring us to a point of focus on how our brains are built, and specifically that idea that actually they're designed to help us survive and to live, not to necessarily be positive or happy or confident. Those are things we want, but the brain itself is just focused on keeping us alive first and foremost. And to help it do that, it is actually wired to really focus on what could go wrong and really focused on the threats and the dangers in our environment, because that kept people alive. So if you think about early humans, they had a lot more to gain by focusing on what could go wrong and focusing on threats, and that meant that they paid attention to that poisonous berry and didn't eat it, and meant that they weren't all chilled out and relaxed such that they missed a predator that was approaching nearby. So it's actually really beneficial for the brain to focus on danger and threat. And if you put that negatively wired brain in the middle of a global pandemic where there's genuine uncertainty and genuine risk and danger, it's really natural that we will experience levels of anxiety, and all of us will, day to day, to varying degrees, because anxiety is basically a fear of the future, and particularly a fear of uncertainty. And when we're uncertain, the brain then focuses on assuming the worst, because that again kept us alive. So before we get into all the different questions, I just wanted to start by us taking stock of that the brain is actually, if you're feeling anxious to varying degrees, then that's a healthy brain behaving in really natural, normal ways in what is a really challenging time for us. The good news is that there are lots of really simple, practical things that we can do from this moment onwards that help us override that negativity bias and help us to feel calmer and more positive and more sort of in the present moment. So we'll hopefully get into some of that as we go through this Q&A.
Okay, so quick change of position, as you guys can tell. Yeah, sweaty, not gonna lie, but we're gonna call it a glow. I find that fascinating. Now, we've only got 7 kind of most common topics, and I asked you guys to write in about it on my Instagram, and these were the 7 that were asked most frequently. And honestly, I think they're really, really, really gonna help a lot of us. The first one was the most common, and it was all around anxiety. And I'm gonna quickly talk to you about how I've been feeling since lockdown. And yes, of course, it's been a whirlwind, and yes, of course, it's kind of out of our control, right? But that doesn't mean that I haven't had anxiety, and it's mainly been affecting me at night when I'm trying to go to bed, when I'm trying to turn my mind off, particularly because I'm doing the workouts quite late. I feel like my mind wanders like crazy, and I kind of run scenarios in my head and things go from 0 to 100, and a lot of that is because of being uncertain. I think we're all in an uncertain place, whether that's work, finances, and the only thing that really helps me is exercising, but I'm struggling to turn off. There is still that like underlying anxiety, and you know, when you feel like butterflies. And one thing that I learned when I was moving country actually was that there's a really, really close comparison between the feeling of anxiety and excitement, and obviously they're completely different, right? But the feeling can sometimes be quite similar. So we'll hear from Katie now about what her thoughts are on anxiety and how we can manage it, basically. So over to Katie.
Okay, let's get stuck into the first question, which is, how do I manage anxiety in lockdown? How do I calm my mind? So there's lots of things we can do here, and some of them you already know, but I'm going to remind you of them anyway because they're so important. And the first thing to get right is our sleep. And when we don't sleep properly, 7 to 8 hours as much as possible, our brains are a lot more negative, up to 60% more negative. I know I'm a lot more emotional and find it hard to make decisions when I haven't slept. So don't underestimate sleep. It helps us balance the emotional and logical part of the brain. Without sleep, you're left with the really emotional part, and the logical part of your brain kind of goes offline, so that you're just, it's like having the foot on the accelerator with emotions, and the brake pedal is gone to be able to sort of think clearly. So sleep, if you do nothing but just get that right and prioritize that, then you're probably going to be onto a good place. Exercise, you guys know you've got an amazing coach with Lily, but exercise is absolutely vital in terms of burning through that adrenaline and cortisol that your body is producing. So keep up with the great stuff you're doing. The workouts are intense, and that will be helping. Let's just touch on nutrition. So up to 90% of serotonin, the happy hormone, is actually produced in the gut. So really take care of your nutrition, focusing on your sort of fish, leafy green vegetables, pulses, lentils, avocado, nuts, keeping your fried food and alcohol and caffeine to a minimum, because that just creates more stress in the body. Your brain actually kind of produces or consumes, 420 calories a day. So you want to give it the best quality nutrition, and you can kind of almost sort of eat your way to happiness when you think about it that way. The next thing I want to talk about is really important. So limiting your exposure to the news. Do not have the news on in the background all day long, constantly running through the headlines and all of the sort of stressful stories, because the more you expose your brain to that, the more sensitive and primed it is to focus on those sorts of things. We know from studies that people that repeatedly watched the Twin Towers falling in 9/11 actually developed symptoms of PTSD, even if they had no connection to New York at all. So curate what you expose your brain to, be active in it. Don't just be passive and let the world happen to you. You choose what you want to expose your brain to and keep it as positive as possible. I know we do need to watch the news a little bit. We need to stay informed, but keep it to an absolute minimum, and then move your focus to more positive stories about how communities are coming together, things you're grateful for. And then let's finish off with something kind of more psychological, which I love because you can do anytime, anywhere. It's called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's all about getting out of our minds and into our senses, things that are tangible and real that we can see and feel. So it's a simple exercise where you would literally just sit in your chair, wherever you are, walking around, and your first job is to notice 5 things that you can see in your environment, literally just naming them. So the door, the piano, which I need to play more, the sofa, whatever it is. So 5 things you can see. And then 4 things that you can hear. So you're literally paying attention to your environment, 4 things you can hear, not judging anything as good or bad, just noticing what you can hear. 3 things that you can touch. So it could be your hair on your skin, or the clothing that's touching your legs, or your bum on the seat, anything that you can actually touch. 2 things you can smell. So just coming to that sense of smell. And finally, 1 thing that you can taste. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 things I can see, 4 things I can hear, 3 things I can touch, 2 things I can smell, 1 thing I can taste. And the science shows us that if we take 2 minutes to do that, it brings us out of our minds and into our senses, and you will hopefully, I hope you'll feel a lot more calm and in the present moment, and you can do that as many times as you want throughout the day.
Honestly, like, I'm learning so much here, and I'm guessing you guys probably are as well. There's just a few thoughts like I did the other day with the nutrition where I'm going to kind of jump in with my experience, but I am definitely not a professional in this field, and the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for me is like something I'm going to be doing a lot now. Sleep. So I would love you guys, hi Teddy, to quickly type in how many hours of sleep you on average get a night. So quickly chuck that in, how many hours of sleep on average you get a night. Now, if my sister's still watching, she's going to find this funny because we need our sleep. Us Sabri sisters really need our sleep. I need a minimum of 8 hours sleep. To be honest, I need 9 or 10. I don't know why it is. I used to make excuses and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so angry with myself. I need to be up really early. I used to like get really annoyed, and that would then decrease the quality of my sleep. I then listened to a book by someone called, and I was quickly to Alex, what's the name of this guy? Greg McGeown, and the book is called Essentialism. And this book changed my life. Like, no lie, it absolutely changed my life in so many ways. But one of the things he talks about, which has literally stuck with me, and I've brought him up before in my vlogs, is this kind of like mentality of you can sleep when you're dead, all-nighters are a good thing, this like, I guess, high profile city life where you're working like a really, really hardcore job, and it's like expected that you should be in the office until 11 p.m. and you need to be back in again at 6 a.m. Like, not getting enough sleep is going to majorly decrease the quality of the function of our brain and physically as well, our body. But speaking about the serotonin, having enough sleep, making sure that you're allowing your brain to function and allowing yourself to feel good is so important. So one thing I would say, if you are, and I know this applies to my mummies a lot, of which there's a lot of mums who are part of the Lean with Lily community, it's tough. It's really tough to get enough sleep, to get good quality sleep. But when your anxiety of having enough sleep is stopping you from sleeping, that's when there's a problem. And I can directly relate to that. So that book, honestly, Greg McGeown, and one of the other things that he taught me, which I've mentioned to you guys before, is like departmentalization. So using different platforms, different surfaces for different things. So a great example is I try to never touch Facebook on my phone. I only touch Facebook on my laptop. Instagram is on my phone. YouTube is both. I would rather it just be my laptop. It means that I've become so much more efficient with my time because I don't spend time wasting, like scrolling through. I know that I have time on my laptop, which is for Facebook, to engage with the Facebook group. So little tricks like that have been an absolute game changer. Journaling has been a game changer for me, and 15 minutes of breath work in the morning just helps me to clear my head and set myself up for the day. So they're my kind of top tips there. Also, 420 calories a day for brain function. Did you know that? Now, how concerning is this? Some of the girls that I've spoken to are really struggling to develop a healthy relationship with food at the moment, and they're eating as little as 1,100 calories a day. That leaves you with just 700 calories for your body. 400 are being taken up by your brain. So we really need to be careful and support each other with that. And we are going to be touching on the food side of things, developing a healthy relationship with your body and with food, which will be coming. So next, how to accept myself as I am. Body positivity is a huge movement at the moment. Some of my best friends are huge advocates for it, but I'm so excited to hear what Katie has to say about it. So we're going to go over to Katie now.
So the next question is, how can I accept myself as I am and achieve a healthy relationship with my body, even though I don't like how it looks? So this is probably a question that lots of us can relate to at various points in our life, and says a lot about how society is kind of conditioned as to what's acceptable or what's attractive. And I think the first step with this is that take a step back and just notice that somewhere along the lines, reflect back into your past, somewhere your brain is accidentally connected looking a certain way with being valuable, or perhaps being lovable even, I suspect. And actually that's crazy, because if you stop and think about it, about how you value other people, I doubt that you sit there and rank them on a scale out of 10 of how attractive they are, and then you decide, oh, I'm going to make friends with that person because they're really attractive, or I'm going to think about my friends, I'm going to score them out of 10 for their attractiveness, and I'm going to call the one that's most attractive. I doubt any of you do that. You probably just think about, who do I want to connect with, who do I care about, and their human qualities. Are they caring, are they kind, are they funny? And those same qualities exist within you as well. So whether or not how you feel about the way you look is not at all related to your ability to accept yourself. Those two things are completely separate. So see if you can kind of come to see that through different eyes and pull those two things apart. The other thing is to just kind of have a bit of a playful look at the subjectivity of this. So let's say, those of you that sent in this question, let's say that we met up and we're friends, and I say to you, "Are you really attractive?" And you say to me, no, I'm not attractive. Who is right in that moment? You can't know. There is no right or wrong. There's your opinion, there's my opinion. It's totally subjective. So we may as well just step back from it and just not even engage in it, and realize that it just is not important in the way that our minds seem to perhaps tell us it is sometimes. The other thing to say on this one is just have a little think about how you came to be. So you started out as a single cell, and you have grown into a fully fledged human being, and somehow your body knew how to put your arm at the end of your shoulder, and to put your legs coming out of your hips, and to put an ear here and an ear here and two eyes, and it's absolutely amazing. How did your body know to mirror the left side with the right side? It's mind-blowing when you think about the fact that you are actually a miracle. Each one of us is a miracle. And it's less about how we feel about our levels of attractiveness that are subjective and not something that even link to our value, and more about just coming to appreciate how phenomenal each one of us is and how great our potential is to be the kind of people we want to be. So I hope that helps a little bit. Just take a bit of reflection on that and see if you can find playful ways of pulling apart the wrong connection that your brain has made between how you look and your value.
Guys, how unbelievable is that? Now, I actually had a conversation with Alex earlier, and I don't know how many of you in this chat asked that question. We've still got 750 of you, and I don't know how many are struggling with, I guess, body image, but on top of that, like self-worth. It kind of links into that. Like, being totally honest, I have had issues with it. Of course I have. I think every single person on the planet has had issues with kind of overanalyzing the way they look, thinking about what society expects you to look like. Even if, you have someone up on a pedestal, particularly if they're an online personality or a YouTuber, they will have had self-doubt at some time. And Alex and I were having a really interesting conversation about this morning, because I have always been into sport, even from childhood. I feel like I came out of the womb like dancing and running and all of that. Like, I am just naturally a person who really enjoys sport. And touch wood, I have never suffered with any form of like eating disorder or any negative associations with food. And I was trying to work out why. And honestly, I think a lot of it is down to the fact that I've never is the wrong word. When I was younger, I was never thinking, how thin can I be? I was always thinking, how fast can I be? How can I become a faster swimmer? How can I beat this person in the pool? How can I become stronger? How can I jump further? And they were kind of the measures that I looked at, particularly up until like 15, 16. When I was 15, 16, that was when I had my first issues, because of other people. Because there were some negative comments that were made towards me about my body at school, and actually it was because I was athletic and it was around my legs. And those of you who followed me on Instagram for a while and YouTube, you will know that that is the area that I've had to work so hard on from a mental strength point of view, to like wear shorts when I'm out and about, because I've always been self-conscious of my legs. And I think that is rooted back to when I was 15, 16 years old, and some nasty comments were made. Tree trunk legs, thick legs. Basically, it's because I was athletic and I wasn't super skinny. Even though I'm slim, I wasn't that idealistic super skinny in my legs. And it does stick with you, but honestly, the mental strength that I've drawn from that to realize that actually 9 times out of 10, particularly for you young girls who are listening, what people are saying to you is that mirror reflection of what they're feeling themselves. I've learned so much from that, so much, and I've learned to not get angry or upset, even more so, because I am a softie and I get upset, and instead I've learned to actually try and understand why they're saying the things they are and ignore. It's taken me years, guys, absolutely years. I'm someone who likes to be liked, and finally I'm at a stage now where comments can kind of do that, which is amazing. And Alex has helped a lot with that as well. Even up till like 5 years ago, even with men, I was having some challenging times, which meant that I was trying to change my image to become what they wanted or what I thought they wanted. So yeah, it takes time, it's a journey, and that's kind of me truly opening up with you. In terms of food, that's something else I'm going to talk about next week, and maybe even this weekend. Keep yourself watching, because I've got a few specialists who are going to be coming on about food and eating disorders, because that's one thing that I really want to talk about, because I know a lot of you girls are struggling, and I just want to show you what I'm eating every day, because I eat a lot because I love food, and I want to try and like spread that joy to you guys, because honestly, you do not have to be restrictive to get results. So on to the next question. And it was how to stay positive. I think honestly that's challenging right now. Like, even speaking to family and friends back home, we're all kind of doing this at the moment, and guys, that is so normal. Like, the psychological challenges that are on us right now is way more than normal, but on top of that, we don't have the distractions we'd previously have. Okay, so even things like getting on the tube in London to go to work, or developing a new routine to kind of keep you busy, even if you were slightly stressed or had some negative thoughts on your mind, you get distracted so much more easily. Now we're at home, okay, and we have more time to think about it. So basically, Kate is going to be answering how to stay positive at the moment and in general.
Okay, the next question is, how do I stay positive during lockdown? So there's loads of stuff we can do in this space, and thank you to those of you that sent this question in, because I had a grumpy day yesterday, and so it was good to remind myself of this as well. So one of the easiest and most reliable ways, I think, to experience more positive emotion, no matter what's going on, lockdown or otherwise, is to tap into some gratitude. So here's an idea for you. Just sit down and think about 10 people that have made a difference in your life. Some could be a friend that was there for you in a tough time, or someone that inspired you to take a leap, or just someone that you look up to and you think has made some kind of positive contribution in your life. And I want you to just write them a letter. Really short and simple. Just grab a piece of paper and write to them and say, thanks so much for this thing you did. This is the effect it had on me. This is how it made me feel, and I'm grateful for it. And then pop it in an envelope, put a stamp on in the letterbox. And in that moment, you will experience really a real rush of positive gratitude. And when the person receives the letter, they will experience the same. And I love it because you can do it anytime, anywhere. It's super simple. And see how you get on with it.
Oh gosh, that was a really quick one, right? I'm basically watching Kate on here and then reading your messages at the same time. So that was I was behind you. I'm just basically reading through some of your messages right now. And Laurie is actually quite new to the family, right? Because I know you've just set up a Facebook, I think, to join our private Facebook group. But this message, most of the time I can look in the mirror and think, for my age, I'm 53, having 3 beautiful children, everything I've been through, I really look good and I'm proud. Being proud of your progress is so key, and not relying on other people to be proud of you. Honestly, that's like absolutely key, because we always seek validation from other people, particularly when it comes to our aesthetics. But knowing, and I'm the worst for that, like Alex will tell you, aren't I like that? Even, guys, after every single live, I think I ask Alex maybe 8 to 10 times, how was that? How was that? And then I have a debrief call with my sister. I jump on a call to my sister to basically say, how did you find it? What could be improved? That's because I love progress, right? But you've got to know inside that you are proud of yourself, that you are showing up every single day, that you are putting in 100% of what you have that particular day. Because you don't have as much every single day. That is totally normal. Today, for me, I'm feeling more energized. Last week on Wednesday, all I wanted to do was lie in a ball on the sofa and probably cry. Like, honestly, it's totally normal to have ups and downs, but to be able to accept and basically appreciate what you're doing is absolutely key, and not having to search for other people's validation for that. I'm keeping looking through what's going on, guys, so please make sure you're kind of commenting, chucking any other questions that you have. Can you elaborate on the concept of self-worth, feeling worthy? That's from Sophia Chitri. Actually, that's really, really good for you to ask, because I'm going to be drawing in one of my friends, Danae Mercer, who is basically absolutely everything self-love, body positivity. She talks a lot about her journey with an eating disorder and accepting yourself and loving yourself. So that's going to be coming really, really soon. We may even do an Instagram live this weekend, so keep your eye on my Instagram, but she'll certainly be coming on YouTube with me next week, Monday. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Everyone's talking about how much sleep they get. That's amazing. Oh my God, imagine how many letters Lily will get. Letters for what? Can I send you a letter? Oh, you got, yes. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Okay, does anxiety affect your body? So we're kind of going into the physicality of a psychosocial problem. So we're talking about how something psychological can affect you physically. So will anxiety from your mind affect your body? Over to Kate.
Okay, so next question is, how does anxiety and stress affect my body, particularly my weight, motivation and sleep? So this is a good question that we all need to kind of lean into and pay attention to, because it affects us in lots of different ways. So when we have lots of stress and anxieties and lots of unresolved worries, it typically blocks us from reaching the deeper stages of sleep that help us to really regenerate and process our experiences and calm our emotions. So lots of worries and stresses just keeps us in a slightly more superficial sleep, or causes us to wake up after having fallen asleep. So not helpful at all in that respect. It also, when we feel stressed, our adrenal glands release cortisol, which is the hormone that means that we're ready to fight something, a danger or a threat, or run away, so fight or flight. And cortisol is actually an appetite stimulant. So when we have more cortisol, we want to eat more, which is why you often find yourself comfort eating when you feel a bit stressed, like how reach for the chocolate and then it's like, I didn't even want that, is because the cortisol is kind of making you do it. The other thing is that when we eat calories with high cortisol present, we are more likely to then deposit fat around our middle, which is not something that any of us tend to want. And so stress in that way also kind of slows down our metabolism. Cortisol slows down the metabolism. So in various different ways, when we feel stressed, it affects our body in not so helpful ways. You also mentioned about motivation in this question. So often the more stressed and anxious we feel, we move to one of two unhelpful places, either feeling kind of overwhelmed and like, I've got so much to do, I don't know where to start, and so you sort of do nothing, or you go and do really simple tasks that didn't really need doing. Is basically you've reached a point of overwhelm and your brain has now become very emotional and not so logical, so you don't make good decisions about what to do and feel less motivated. And the other way is it can kind of swing the other way depending on what your sort of individual psychology is, where you then do so much and you work in a sort of frenzied way that you end up kind of burnt out and exhausted. So wherever we look at it, stress over long periods of time doesn't help our bodies or our minds. So let's keep going through these questions as to how we kind of get on top of it.
So next up, guys, which I think actually links into this, excuse me, Fluffy, how cute is he, by the way, is actually all around, and this came up a lot, like rest days and how to not feel guilty about taking a day off, or even not having as good a workout. And this comes up quite a lot, particularly in the private Facebook group. And actually, I think it's something we need to talk about a lot more, and potentially something that I need to show a lot more. Like, I have days off, guys. And a question I often get asked, and Alex will vouch for this, people are like, okay, so you film and then do you go and do your own workout in the gym? No. Everything you see on my YouTube channel, particularly with these lives, is all I do. That is literally all I do, because I treat this as my workouts myself. I don't then go off and do my own workout. Like, I'm being totally honest with you, this workout today is my workout. I have to say, I also filmed a finisher because I filmed it for 2 days time. So all I've done is an extra 10 minutes on top of that, which you guys are more than welcome to do as well. But yeah, that kind of like, not feeling guilty. I talk about this all the time, like, enjoy the journey. This is a lifestyle. It's super important that we enjoy the feeling of becoming fit. And I'm going to give you a direct, or as a kind of direct comparison as I can. Alex and I had a goal, and our goal was to try and reach 100,000 subscribers before we went to LA. So we were supposed to be in LA in July. Obviously, we're not going to be able to go. So that was our goal, and we were like, we are going to work our butts off to try and get to 100,000 subscribers. And the weird thing is, when you hit a goal, all you want is more. So we hit 100,000, then I was like, oh my gosh, we need to keep growing at the same rate. Maybe we'll get to 200,000. 200,000 came, oh my gosh, that's not enough. Like, we want 300,000. We're now at 400,000, and I say that with the biggest smile on my face because it happened today, and thank you. But for the first 2 weeks of growing at a crazy rate, I was so anxious. I couldn't sleep. I was worried that the growth was going to slow down. I was worried about the responsibility of helping you. I was worried that I wasn't giving you enough. Like, I can't even explain to you. I was speaking to one of my close friends, Alex, who is Supercar Blondie, and she's got like 10 million followers across different platforms.
Yeah,
And
almost 20 million.
Almost 20 million. She'll probably watch this, so sorry, Alex. And she gave me advice, and she was like, you've got to enjoy the journey. You've got to. And I've completely changed up my mindset. And it doesn't mean I'm not looking at the numbers. I am looking at the numbers because I love that goal, right? I love goal setting. And it's the same with taking progress photos on a fitness journey. Of course, take those shots. Only you has to look at them. You don't have to share them if you don't want to, and look back in 3 months' time and be proud of yourself. But what I'm saying is, be proud every single day, because you've shown up. I need to be proud every single day that I am filming for you, that we are editing, that we are working crazy hours because we're helping you. So you just got to enjoy the journey. And honestly, it's like this happens. It's like you have fog in your brain, and when you stop fixating on the final destination and you finally start thinking about, okay, we're on a journey, and every single day I'm showing up and I'm doing a little bit more, and I'm proud of myself for that. It is like, it's crazy, isn't it? Alex has seen the difference in me, and journaling's a big part of that, by the way. I'm a massive fan of journaling. When I don't journal, I feel really rubbish, which has been quite a lot recently because I'm not making the time for it, which is really bad. So tomorrow morning I'm journaling again. Okay, a lot more questions are coming through. You guys are you are amazing. Can you see Teddy? Not properly, you can just see his little fluffy head. Okay, so next up is how to motivate myself to work out. Wait, have we done how to manage guilt? How to manage guilt, sorry. So elaborating on what I basically just said. Enjoy.
Okay, the next question is, how do I remove guilt on rest days? And this was sent in by loads of you, which tells us something. So let's start by kind of taking note of the fact that all emotions actually serve a healthy purpose when they're experienced in the right time, in the right way, at the right level of intensity. So guilt as an emotion is healthy when it makes us pay attention to a mistake we've made or when we've fallen short of our values. So for example, I might feel guilty when I've missed my friend's birthday, and that's against my values, and so the guilt arises to make me make up for my mistake, and then you can almost be grateful for it. But in the context that you guys are describing, this guilt is misplaced. So I think the most important thing come to is the science. And Lily's going to talk more, I suspect, it's more sort of in her area of expertise around the science of that rest and recovery. But just that basic idea that when you exercise, you break your muscles down, and then the rest day is when they rebuild stronger. So if you don't take that rest day, you're basically robbing your body of the opportunity to rebuild stronger. So the work we do with elite athletes and my work in Team GB, because they experience this a lot, the same as you guys, they always want to do more and think more is better. So we have to kind of educate the brain to think differently and actually really embrace the science of recovery. So you wake up in the morning and you say, yes, it's a rest day, and my body is going to repair itself from all that great work I did yesterday, and it's going to rebuild stronger and leaner, and I'm going to really enjoy relaxing into this day, because we know from the science that when you add guilt to a restful activity, you make it stressful. So get a handle on this, come to the science, realize that it's natural to experience guilt, but more is not always better. It's kind of like a strength that you're overplaying, and embrace that rest day. Perhaps think about something really meaningful you want to do on that day that's not going counter to your physical goals, so that you've still got a sense of accomplishment, but it's not in the area necessarily of physical activity.
I'm laughing so much right now, guys, because Alex, bring it over. So did you hear that Katie was mentioning a whiteboard? So I was like, Alex, would you mind? Like, I just want to prove that we're using it. He's now like going crazy. So this has changed our life, and I wish I could turn the camera, but I don't want to ruin it all. But basically, this is the studio. This is our office space. Alex's workspace is there. Here he is, full family photo.
Yeah.
I know, baby, family photo. So this is our whiteboard. Every single day we put down our different goals. We've just had to scrub off anything that's a little bit
sensitive info.
anything that's super sensitive, like bank details. But yeah, we basically have Alex, we have me, we have both of us. Oh no, that's okay. And then we have
Ideas, random stuff, and then Khalida.
Khalida is part of our team. So if you've been getting epic emails through, you will know that that is Khalida and I. She's phenomenal. We have a few other people in the team, which is amazing. We have the upload times, and literally we will go through it. We've had to wipe loads off, but then we'll put a tick next to it, and it is phenomenal. Even this, every single time we have a new guide, we print the guide out, normally in color actually. This looks very bland.
We ran out of ink.
Oh, did we? Yeah. I don't do this bit. Alex makes things look pretty. But I basically, Alex rubs them out as we do them. And yeah, it's just a way of being organized, because honestly, it's so nice to like tick things off, because I'm sure you've done it. He looks so cute right now. Can you tilt the camera so you can see? Oh my gosh. Look at this. Yeah, you. How cute. I love you. Oh my gosh. So yeah, a whiteboard is amazing. Particularly, I know we've got some of you girls are studying at the moment, but even if you're not, like, it's such a good way. Or, you know, just some type of calendar. We have calendars up over there as well. They're an absolute game changer. That's showing up of Teddy. I'm just looking through at the comments now. One of you girls was talking about stretch marks. And I haven't written down your name, which I'm so sorry, but one of you girls was talking about stretch marks, saying that you don't want to post your progress shots because of stretch marks. Do you know what? If I had more stretch marks, I would be so proud of myself, because stretch marks can be showing progress. The day I get more stretch marks on my butt, I am going to be showing those stretch marks like crazy. Stretch marks come from muscle building and then shrinking back down, muscle building and shrinking. They are so normal. Oh my gosh, just like cellulite. It is so normal, and that's why I'm excited to have Danae on. So yeah, if that's holding you back, please know that it shouldn't be, because you are freaking beautiful and it shouldn't be, and own those stretch marks. And people are like, Alex is so sweet. Whiteboard, stretch marks, progress photos. Okay, that was that. Next question. I was just checking if more came through. Okay, how to motivate myself to work out. Now, I always say this, I'm like, I'm gonna bring the motivation, but obviously you need to show up, right? I feel like if I get you there, if you're there with me, I force you to do it. But also know that there's days that aren't going to be as easy as others. Like I was saying before, that's totally normal. Our energy levels are different every single day, and that's for so many reasons. But let's see what Katie says about how to motivate yourself.
Right, next question is, how do I motivate myself to work out? So there's loads of stuff we can do here. I think that the first place to start really is being clear on your goals of what it is you want to achieve. But the most important thing is actually why. And it's where we always start with elite athletes or sports teams, is getting together and working out what is it you want to achieve and what will it give you. And I want you to kind of peel back the layers of the onion here and don't accept your first answer as the final answer. So why is it you want to get in shape? What will that give you? That will give you confidence perhaps, or what will that confidence give you? What will that enable you to do? And keep peeling back till you get to the most powerful point of your motivation. And I want you to write that down and make it somewhere visible so that you can see it and keep kind of fueling the fire within you. Then to really write down what your targets are for workouts or exercise. I've got some whiteboard paper that's out in the hallway, so I see it really regularly throughout the day, and it helps me stay focused and motivated. And then after each workout, tick it off. And I know it sounds like a really simple thing, but you'll be amazed at how effective it is. When you can tick off the fact that you've done a workout, your motivation is so much more reliable. And talking about that kind of accountability, really, really helpful to share with a friend what it is you want to achieve and ask them to check back in with you at the end of the week, because no one really wants to be a hypocrite. So once you do that, you're more likely to kind of stick to it. Other things is to kind of think about your nutrition and how you use that to fuel yourself and help you really be at your best. Lily and I, we met first of all through the amazing guys at Optimum Nutrition, and they've got loads of products there that can help you. Amino Energy comes to mind in particular, to help you be more efficient and feel more kind of focused and motivated for your workouts. And then also how you kind of step back from your thinking and be your own best coach. So when you're having those kind of thoughts of, I can't be bothered, I want you to try something really simple. So the first thing is to notice that you're having the thoughts, and to say to yourself, or say out loud if you can, I'm having the thought that I don't want to work out. And then I want you to say, I notice I'm having the thought that I don't want to work out. And I know it sounds crazy, but as you say, I notice I'm having the thought that, you create a bit of space between you and the thought. And then you can come to notice and train your mind to practice seeing that you're not your thoughts. And even with the thought, I don't want to work out, I can still work out. You're not your thoughts. So then you kind of come to coach yourself of, actually, no, there's a part of me that doesn't want to work out. Fair enough. There's a part of me that really does want to work out. So let's just take the first step. Just take the first step, and particularly with Lily, you know when you take the first step, you're going to be motivated to take the next one and the next one, and then that momentum will build and you'll work your way through the workout. One of the other simple self-coaching questions I've found so effective is, have you ever regretted a workout? I ran the marathon back in 2012, and I used to ask myself that before about 50% of my runs, of have you ever regretted going for a run? And that point of being able to coach yourself through the self-doubt, through the negative thinking, is incredibly powerful. So give that a go.
Okay, so I'm reading through all of your messages that are coming through while we're talking, and they're unbelievable. One that's really stood out to me is Cindy. Cindy Tome. Really hope I'm saying your name right. I think it's probably a silent H. But yeah, she said, I'm tearing up because of this Q&A. I've struggled with body image because of surgery scars and being questioned by it my whole life. You're only 18 years old. And I'm now accepting and loving myself. 18, and to be feeling sad about your body, like, oh gosh. There's so much that we can do to support each other. Like, it's actually crazy, and I cannot wait to bring Danae on because she's such a positive advocate and I'm learning so much from her. But honestly, talking about it and being open about it with the community, I really advise joining my private Facebook group. It's so supportive, and asking me for advice as well. And know that I am not this perfect person who always feels great about my body and always feels really confident. It is so normal to have ups and downs in your mental state and your confidence. Like, no one is ever, I think I know one person who I remember meeting and I was like, how is she so confident? But she probably isn't. A lot of the time it's like, we call it masking, right? It's putting a mask on. It's like when I'm teaching a class, if I've had a really, really, really bad day, I'm not going to be like, guys, I'm feeling really, really crap today. Excuse my French. You know, this is going to be a bad day. Like, that's why I cancelled that class a couple of weeks ago when my granny passed away, because I was a negative energy that day. I was like drained. So please be aware it's normal to have days that you just don't feel as good physically, mentally. Just accept it. That's fine. One of the other girls was asking about periods and what to do when you're on your period in terms of training. Listen to your body. Honestly, that is the best thing you could ever do. Two of my favorite sayings. The one that I said 2 days ago from Granny, your health is your wealth. The second one is listen to your body. And that draws on my physio background. And sometimes I forget that I'm so in tune with my body and I'm able to say like, you know, I've had a hunger cue and I need to eat. It's intuitive eating, right? And it's the same for workouts. If you feel like you're not up to a hardcore HIIT session, that is absolutely fine. For those of you who are doing my 8-week lean transformation guide, I say this at the beginning of the guide. If there is a day where you feel like you need to swap it around or have an extra day off, an extra active recovery day, that is totally fine. You need to listen to your body. This is your journey and there's literally no wrong or right. One of the other girls, and I'm so sorry I'm not always saying your names. Okay, Nadine, you are here. Nadine Nano was saying, can you tell me if this is right? And again, there's no wrong or right. Everyone's body is different. So please don't think that every single week you need to be doing the same thing. But your question was, I train with me for 3 days a week. Then I have a day off. Then I go back to, so you basically do 3 days on, 1 day off. That's absolutely fine. That's enough rest in terms of, are you getting enough rest with that? Yes, you are. In my guides to start off with, I tend to do 5 days of training, 2 active recovery, and then we increase that to 6 days of training, 1 active recovery. But you'll notice certain days are longer than others, certain days are harder than others. So that's a really nice structure. I never do more than 3 HIIT sessions a week because they are intense. Okay, last question. Love this one because it's now 10 past 10 here in Dubai. How to sleep better, ... I wish, because Katie is a young mum. So how to sleep better. Let's do this.
So we've got a question here from a viewer about how to sleep better. I laughed when I saw this question. I've got a little 8-month-old and sleep is not something I'm familiar with, but it's absolutely vital for our mental health. So let's have a little think about it. I think with this one, it's often kind of, there's some practical things you can do before you look at anything psychological. So let's just run through them quickly. Things that we know from the science help with sleep is to have a consistent bedtime and wake up time. That helps to kind of set an internal body clock. To have a simple wind down routine, so don't go from kind of watching something intense on TV to suddenly expecting yourself to fall asleep. So a simple wind down routine that might involve some simple stretching, a simple gratitude practice of what you've experienced through the day, kind of lower lighting, using kind of nice sort of sensory things like a soft blanket or a scented candle, something that's part of signaling to your body that we're starting to wind down. You know the basics about no technology. It's hard to do, but the only way I can do that is if I literally move my phone away from me, because otherwise just the temptation to keep picking it up and having a look is too much. Having a warm bath, if you have a bath, that can be really fantastic, because what it actually does is it warms your body up, but then the cooling effect afterwards stimulates the desire to fall asleep. So the bath can be really effective, and perhaps putting some magnesium salts in as well can all help with that. And then I'm a big believer in things that people overlook, like, do you know what? Invest in a really good pillow. Like, get online and see if you can get one that kind of suits you really nicely. If you're with a partner, I recommend having separate duvets. It might not be so great for cuddling, but it will mean that you don't interrupt each other as much as you're moving around at night, and can make a really, really big difference. And keeping the room quite cool. So actually for sleep, you want the room around 19 degrees. Most people's bedrooms are more like 21 to 23, which it kind of gets in the way to sleep for more than sort of 15 to 20 minutes, and it's not happening. It's actually as painful as it can be. It's good to get up and just do something kind of mind numbing, read something really kind of calming. not doing anything too stimulating, and then coming back, trying again when you feel really tired. It's funny because when you ask people that sleep well, how do you fall asleep, they will tell you, I don't do anything. But when you start to have a trouble with sleep, we tend to sort of try too much, and that effort actually gets in the way of sleep. So more about setting the environment, and then knowing that your body will kind of take care of the rest. One final thing is if you do find that your mind is really busy, you could do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sense exercise that we talked about earlier on. And that can be really effective at just sort of distracting the mind enough to then let sleep come naturally. But well worth putting effort into because of the benefits it has for our mental health as well as our physical health.
So this, just because I've been listening in with you guys, this brand, Bath & Body Works, they're here in Dubai, but I know they're in the States. I know it's really difficult to get hold of them in the UK. I'm not sure if you can order, but game changers. Every time I buy them on sale, by the way, 50% off, because there's often sales, I buy like 20, and there's a really nice lavender one which is amazing for sleep. This one I'm now using, which is warm vanilla sugar, so good, like amazing at night. And I'm also using oils. I'm burning oils and incense excuse me, and honestly it's really helping. Lavender on my pillow as well is really good. The separate duvets thing is interesting, right? I honestly laughed so much about that because honestly, when it comes to duvets, if I'm sharing with anyone, I literally roll into a little sausage. I'm really annoying. I have Bath & Body Works. You guys know what I'm talking about. They're amazing. So that was the last question. I did make a few quick notes on it. So the bedtime and wake up is something that I'm struggling with at the moment. And honestly, it's because of the lives are so late for me. So it means then I'm sleeping in till later than I normally would. And I'm not getting to sleep, guys, until 3 or 4 a.m. because after this, I'm so pumped. So I've had to kind of like completely move my day to fit Europe and the States. But I'm trying to get a nice new structure within that. So I'll keep you updated on how I'm going. Candles, amazing. And the wind down routine I think is really interesting, and a friend of mine told me about this, about actually physically putting your phone away. So what I try to do after these lives is quickly go through, well, not even quickly, is to go through as many DMs as possible. At the moment I'm getting like between 500 and 1,000 DMs a day, so if I don't reply to you all, honestly, I'm so sorry. It's just physically impossible, but that's why I love having these conversations live, because it means I get to see your comments and actually respond to you guys. But I just want you to know I am so thankful. I cannot believe we've hit 400,000. After these lives, I try to repost and reply to as many people as possible. Then I try to put my phone away if possible and watch some Netflix. But yeah, guys, thank you. 400,000. What are we on right now, actually? Have we got a count? Let's see. Alex is about to check. Drum roll.
401,000.
401,000, guys. Honestly, I can't believe it. And if we continue as we are right now, we'll be at 500,000 in a couple of weeks, which is amazing. Disbelief is the only way I can actually describe it. So thank you for being part of the most incredible community. I really do think we have the most incredible, engaged, supportive community on the planet, and I'm so thankful. And as per, if you need anything, message me in the private Facebook group, post it. We're there to support each other, and I will see you for another live on Monday where I'm going to be joined by body positivity specialist, and we're going to be talking eating disorders as well with Danae, one of my best friends, Danae Mercer. So keep your eyes on Instagram. We also have our 400k giveaway on Instagram, so go check it out. Anything else? Oh, likes. Please like, please like. I don't know how many likes this video has got. Maybe one of you guys know. If you could quickly let me know how many likes it's got.
1,000.
1,000, okay. Most people already liked. If you haven't already, please smash the thumbs up button, and I love you guys so much. And thank you. Okay, see you next week. Mwah, bye. I wish you could see Teddy. Let me lift him up.